What's up everyone? There's been a game going around for the last couple of months that's been causing a lot of buzz and a lot of people are excited to play this new game. It was a Kickstarter and they got enough funding and now it's been actually made and developed and released for all consoles in 2017. And that game is Yooka-Laylee. And the reason this is so popular is, for one, it's a game that looks great. Graphics look good, the gameplay looks good, but we can't say it for sure till it comes out. But the main reason is so much hype and so many people are backing it is because there's been a serious lack of 3D platformers in the last couple of years in video gaming. And I find that very strange because back in the PS1 and PS2 era, when video games really started kicking off big time, the market was crowded, was filled with 3D platforms. Like it wasn't like filled where there was too much, people just getting sick of it. No, there was just a healthy rivalry because there was a good group of 3D platforms available. And for some reason, they've just disappeared. And I find it very weird because some of the most legendary, most beloved games in the history of gaming are 3D platformers. Like a couple I'll talk about. For example, Super Mario 64, arguably one of the most cherished games ever in video game history. It pretty much started the whole 3D gaming to go, and it is still to this day a phenomenal game. Banjo-Kazooie. Ironically, what Yooka-Laylee is based off, having these two creatures play off each other and help each other through platforming. Again, and of course, Crash Bandicoot. I'm happy to see that he's coming back recently. He seems to be making a bit of a comeback about fucking time. But it's only remastered. It's not like a brand new game yet. I'm hoping that changes, but maybe if the remastered trilogy sells well, they'll bring back Crash 4. Then of course we have Spyro. I made a video about this already. Spyro, what the travesty that fucking happened to him in Skylanders. I'm not going to go through this again because I made an entire video about it and I'm just not able, and it hurts to talk about. They killed Spyro, damn it, they fucked him up. I mean, have you seen the way he looks in Skylanders? It looked like they bashed his face and it just took all the life and happiness out of him. He's just like a battered, depressed shell of what he used to be. Anyway, besides that, the original Spyros were incredible games, especially on the PS1. The PS1 Spyros are some of my favourite platforms of all time, with Spyro 2 arguably being in my top 5 3D platforms of all time. I love that game. Then we go on to the PS2 era. And when you talk about the PS2 era, there was really 3 main 3D platformer series everyone knows. We'll start with the Sly Cooper trilogy. Well, there's 4 games, but you know what I mean, for the PS2. These games are incredible. They make 3D platforming with stealth, and they're just really fun games. They're really fun to play, and they're a unique take on the 3D platformer game. We're adding all this stealth and all that in the mix. Then of course you have Ratchet and Clank. Again, great 3D platform mixed with a shitload of shooting and tons of amazing weapons to use. Again, kind of change up the formula a bit. Then we get to my favourite 3D platforming series of all time, the Jak and Daxter series. Why Naughty Dog stopped making Jak games, I'll never know. But these were amazing. And it's very strange because the first Jak and Daxter was your pure 3D platformer. It was just like, it was a great 3D platformer, had all the elements of your classic 3D platformer. Then the second one kind of changed it, where it's kind of an open world. Still kept the platform elements, but it also had a bit of GTA, open world, in the futuristic sci-fi in it. Story was 100 times better in Jak 2, by the way, and Jak 3 continued it on. But I'm just saying, it was a big leap from Jak 1 to Jak 2. Sorry about that. But what I'm trying to say is, they were amazing platformers. Then of course there's other platformers that didn't have giant series, like Conker's Bad Fur Day. What do I need to say? The Great Mighty Pooh. That's it. If you don't understand what I'm saying, just go check it out. Believe me, you will not believe your fucking eyes if you've never heard or seen Conker's Bad Fur Day. Especially for the time. Then of course we had the Gex trilogy. Well, Gex 2 and Gex 3. The first Gex was a 2D side-scrolling platformer. Anyway, as I was saying, Gex 2 and 3, they were funny 3D platformers because each episode was like a parody of a TV show and all that type of stuff, and it was really cool. Just basically mocking pop culture and all that reference. It was they were really fun games. And then I'm trying to make sure to get all the main ones I possibly can. I'm trying to think of any of the 3D platformers that I'm leaving out at the moment, like really big ones. I probably am, but I'm trying to remember. So we got that. There's other games that have platform elements, but they're not quite platformers. Of course, Donkey Kong 64. Sorry, I'll get back to my point in a moment. Donkey Kong 64. The biggest collectathon of a game I have ever seen. It was insane. You got to play with the entire Kong family. You had to collect so much stuff. Like, in 3D platformers, you do collect a lot of stuff. That's kind of one of the big parts of the game. But in Donkey Kong 64, it is ridiculous. I mean, seriously, it is just insane. Now, back to my point. You've other games then that have platform elements but aren't quite platformers, like Darksiders. It's a weird one, but here we go. There's a good bit of platforming in the game, as well. Like, it just has, it's not a platform obviously, but it's a mix of all different game types. But there's heavy platform segments in it. Hell, a game I've been replaying recently, God of War, has a good couple of platform segments in it. Of course, that's a hack and slash to the bone, but you know what I mean. 3D platformers have been around. The elements of 3D platforming is still in games, but we don't have main 3D platformers, games that are mainly 3D platformers. The only ones left around these days are Mario. I'm sure there's others that I'm trying to remember, but Mario is basically the one series that's keeping the 3D platformer alive with Super Mario Galaxy, now Super Mario World, and whatever comes next. Oh, and of course, sorry, Sonic. Sonic has had some good 3D platform games as well. Yeah, the fan base doesn't really like a lot of their games and believes 2D is the way to go, but they've had some good 3D games. Sonic Colors, Sonic Generations, Sonic the Arabian Nights. I think that was actually a decent game, okay? Fan base don't even try to argue me because I'm just not able for that shit. And it just sounds stupid. Why am I even saying that? Why do we... There was no need for that. There was no need for... Anyway, sidetracking again. My point is, 3D platformers... Yeah, there's this thing that 3D platformers are for kids, but they're not really. You can make 3D platformers challenging. And they... I mean, for fuck's sake, some of these games I named out are probably harder than most new games. Super Mario 64, there's some challenging shit in that. I mean, they're really fucking... 3D platformers can be a really fun game because they're always creative. It adds variety to the game industry. An industry obsessed right now with third-person action games, first-person shooters, racing games out the ass that all feel the same. Let's be serious. Quick side thing. In racing, we have Gran Turismo, Forza, fucking... What else do we have? Gran Turismo, Forza, Need for Speed. Recently, Drive Club, well, you know, a year or two ago. And they all feel the fucking same. Yeah, there's difference between them, but they're just not fun anymore. I mean, we get it. The cars are realistic. The driving's fun. Yeah. I was going to stop myself because I really not be discussing racing games on a video on 3D platforms. I'm professional, damn it. God, make myself bear this. Anyway, the point is, 3D platformers should come back. Developers try to take a bit more of a risk and bring them back, and I think they could do well. Look at the hype ukuleles getting. It just shows that there's a gap in the market for good 3D platformers. Hell, all the buzz Crash Bandicoot again. I don't understand why Naughty Dog, why Sony don't try to buy the rights back from Activision, or why Activision capitalising it and trying to make a good Crash Bandicoot game for the PS4, Xbox One even. Yeah, I know that sounds sacrilegious, but anyway, to get a new Crash Bandicoot game, we need to do it, okay? So that's all I wanted to say. All the games I've named out, I recommend you check any of them because they are amazing. And there's one more game I just thought of before we finish the video. That's a 3D platform that is really good. Psychonauts. It is a cult favourite, and it's not been played near as much as it should be because it is a phenomenal game, and the story is so intriguing. Basically, the levels are people's minds. I mean, it's awesome. That's all I wanted to say. I just wanted to discuss what I think about the lack of 3D platforms in the game industry these days, why they should be brought back, and some of the greatest games in history being 3D platforms that we all love and adore. Let's be fair. most people know a lot of these 3D platformers. There's a reason for that, because they're fun, they're creative, they're different from your casual video game, because they're usually funny. There's some good, fun, memorable about them. Like Crash, he's a Spyro, Jax, like they're all these samey characters, and they're different from the video game norm, from the military shooters, the racing, the sports, whatever, what have you. Okay, I'm going to stop now before I ramble on anymore. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you want, leave a comment, like, and as always, I'll see you next time.